is Dragoneja and welcome to another episode of Calledea. In today's episode, we won't go to the nether. Unfortunately. No, as many of you Minecrafters know, going to the nether or the end will take a lot of preparation. And look at my village. Does this look like a lot of preparation? No, of course not. It doesn't. This Lord Davidson knew that I wasn't prepared for the nether. So why would he ask me to go to the nether? I'm not going to do that, especially where we we are in 1.16. You know what that means? The nether update. I'm not going to the nether now. No, what I want to do is better the village, and maybe in another episode we go to the nether, but not this one. I want to go and better my village, because a village, well, historically a village doesn't just spawn somewhere. I mean, it just doesn't. There needs to be a reason why a village would be built somewhere. There must have been one person to say, well, I like it here. And if we go to all the villages, you know there is a simple thing why people would build somewhere. Water. A village doesn't spawn everywhere. You need an economy for a village to spawn somewhere, to become bigger and important village. How do they get their money? Because without getting money, there is no need for somebody to live inside a village. Yes, it gives a little bit safety, and especially with this enormous structure, it will give safety. But if there was nothing to protect, this enormous structure would not have been built. So we need to think about our village and about what is going to give us our economy. I mean, we're close to the sea, so one thing is very simple. We are a fishing people. We like to fish, so we need a harbor. The other thing is that we don't have a real diamond mine down there, because there are not that much diamonds nor gold, but we do have a lot of iron. There is another thing we're going to do in this episode. There is something to do with his horse, because I finally have a name for it. My cousin came up with a very nice name, one I really liked, and I want to use, because this name has a little bit of history to it and gives a little bit of history about me. I'm going to name my horse Chuchu. Yes, Chuchu. And obviously I named the horse after someone or something. I named it after the old dog of my grandparents, because that was my first pet. I mean, I didn't really grow up with pets, and my grandparents had a large black dog. This dog was such a nice animal. The whole village liked it. I want to honor him and call my horse Chuchu. But as I told, I want to better this village a little bit, and it has all to do with this. I now have some stuff. It's not much, it's, well, I have some diamonds. So it did this a little bit, but I want to store it. I need a storage place in my village, and as I still want my village to grow in a certain way, I decided to make this storage system or storage place around here. There are two reasons why. I didn't want it to be too close to the center because it is not the nicest build, and it's not a build you can interact with the outside. Um, and I wanted it close to the sea because I can make a great entrance in the back, and well, we can make it look like the goods from sea go into the storage system directly. I started with the basement here because I wanted to have the food in the ground, because for food it's very good to have the cold of the ground, and it works against moisture of the food. I made everything that went in the ground out of cobblestone, and everything above ground is wood or plaster. I like to use that a lot because during medieval period, or in all of history, wood is a little bit cheaper, a little bit, maybe a very large bit cheaper than stone. So if you have built like a granary or a city build that wasn't too important, then you quite often build it out of wood, and it's still pretty strong. I mean, it has a pretty sturdy look because of the side beams I made, and I tend to do this a lot in my builds, as you can see from here. I think, yes, I start with building the beams a little bit sideways so that it gives a little bit more of a sturdy feel to the home, to the building. And as I said, not every build in your town should be the most beautiful build of town. That's very important. I mean, if I make a very nice granary, um, first things first, is it usable? If not, it's not a good granary or a good storehouse. So I I try always to make it usable. Use before the looks. Unless I'm in creative, but for survival I always say use before the looks. And if possible, try to make your uh, build stronger, better looking in the way that it's stronger, it's more sturdy. Give it extra pillars on the walls, because in Minecraft you need the depth. Don't forget the depth. That's why I start making the attic a little bit bigger than the rest of the build. As you can see here, I just like a little bit of overhang in a build, and this was a perfect opportunity to do that. And for the rest of the build, I really tried to make it look like a little bit of a granary home, a granary place, so you can see that in the build. It's not a very special build. It doesn't have any windows or anything except its doors. So that's what you can see. On this build I gave it a different roof as well. Half slab wall, because I'm not going to live there, and if you're not going to live in a building, you just don't need all of that space lost. I mean, the rain can come in, but that's a problem you won't feel. So half slabs will do the job, and it looks awesome. And here I start with a tower. And that's only to give the build a little bit of a safer feeling. I mean, it stores all the valuable things of the city, so it needs to be a bit protected. And I try to do that by giving it a tower. Also because it's so close to the harbor, it's just nice to have a tower. This is it for this episode. As you can see, not all builds are meant just to be beautiful. Sometimes you just want to have a practical build. It's nothing too special, just a standard, little bit organized storage system. Small tower to protect everything. And as you can see, this side is facing the water. Ouch. This side is facing the water, so I wanted a little bit of a feeling that they can load their ships directly into the warehouse. And what makes it a little bit real is actually these beams. They are what makes this structure a little bit realistic, and realistic looks good. But as I said, it's not the most special build. Here is a part of the tower. It's not the most special build, it's just for storage and nothing more than that. I needed that a lot. And what I wanted to say about this build as well is, although it looks very small and not so special, it does take a lot of resources. I had enough to fill up this complete system, and now I don't, and I have been grinding a lot in the forest because of the black wood or dark oak wood, and even the cobblestone was I even went through all of my cobblestone. You won't believe it. For such a small build, but I haven't played in survival for a long time, and now I see that builds I built in creative, well, it's so much more easy, and you don't even understand the resources it takes, but that doesn't matter. It was a large learning process for me. So, If you like this episode, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. It would really help me out. Thank you for watching. This was Dragoneja.